It's Multiplier, and today it's time for the start of a whole bunch of Serum videos. Something that now I've had a few weeks with Serum, done quite a lot of stuff with it, and I know how it works. I can teach it all to you. So Serum is the future. Serum is dope. For realsies. So this is a more of an intermediate video all about velocity sensitive envelopes, because it's not that obvious unless you've dug around in the manual. So what do I mean? So I mean that if you press it soft versus hard, sounds different, and all the middle bits as well. As a nice little bonus, check out the visual feedback in this velocity window. It even tells you how hard you're pressing it, so if you're not quite sure how hard you're pressing it, because I don't know, your brain's stupid, then you can use that. Anyway, enough talking, let's actually show you how it works. So what I've mapped it to is definitely the most common thing to map it to, and that is the cutoff of a low pass filter. So the harder you press it, the more of the filter opens up, allowing more harmonics through, and that mirrors real life in the way that if you press a piano hard, it sounds brighter, press it softer, sounds duller. Same with the drum, same with the trumpet, same with your face. So let's show you how it works. Right, so we've got a super simple preset. We have envelope 1, which is the main one, mapped to the wavetable position. So you can see, doing some modulation there. And we have the cutoff of a low pass filter. I love the visual feedback so you can see what's happening. Pretty dope. So if we go over to the matrix, now this has got nothing to do with the movie The Matrix, it's got to do with matrices or matrix. Scratch that. Right, so matrix, this is all how you can customize your modulations. So what we've done is, well, I'll turn that off to show you what it was like. So it'll probably look a bit like this, but it's not programmed in. How do we do it? Well, basically what you got is the source, the amount, you can ignore some of these bits, the source, the amount, the destination, the type, the mod, you can ignore pretty much all that. The crucial bit here is the auxiliary source. So this is how we have a modulation, so we have some change programmed in, could be an envelope or an LFO. How can we modify that in some way, in a cool way? And there are so many options, it's properly good. So we can see we've got mod wheel, further envelopes, velocity, aftertouch, chaos, noise. This is super dope. This is some of the coolest advanced stuff you can do, but we're just going to do velocity for now. So what that will mean is by doing velocity here, it's going to multiply whatever that modulation is doing by the velocity amount as a fraction of 1, I guess. So if you imagine full velocity being 1 and lowest velocity being 0, and so you got 0.2, 0.3, and so on. If you multiply that by the modulation amount, that's what's giving you your overall amount. So this aux source, you might say, is a multiplier. And I'm multiplier. I crowbarred that in there. But that's basically the idea. So just do that, and then very quickly you see how it works. So those of you that are pretty experimental and futuristic and know what you're doing, now that you've seen this, you can probably immediately see how you could then do stuff with the mod wheel, the pitch bend, the aftertouch, stuff like that. And then one final little thing to tweak this a little bit, if you want a bit of control over this velocity curve and how that multiplies the envelope, you go to this curve and then just play around with it. So you see we've got filter cutoff curve here. So if we say pull the curve up really high, doing some sort of clicking action, click. There you go. What's happening? Click. Work. Click you button. There you go. All right, I've got it there. Cool. So now when I'm about halfway up the velocity, it's opened up most of the way. Whereas if I go the opposite way, I can't get the click to work on this. There you go. Click and drag. Now when I'm halfway up, the filter is still pretty close. So you can tweak the rate at which all this velocity sensitivity happens. So you can play around with that. And the cool thing is it means for different parameters. So you can see how here we have the velocity sensitivity mapped to the filter cutoff, which is the crucial one. But we also have it mapped to the wavetable position because of the way the modulation works. It just sounds cool. So there you go. So we could maybe tweak the velocity sensitivity for different routings in different ways. I think that's super dope, and hopefully for you intermediate and advanced dudes, that's given you a flavor and some inspiration to really have a dig through these auxiliary, is that the word? Auxiliarily sources. These are the sources that can multiply the way I look at it, or kind of fuck with this envelope. You get the idea. Cool. That's enough talking. Video done. Next video on Serum will be even better. And this one was great.